Coming up on EagleVision News, are we expecting a devastating earthquake here in Southern California?
And a local zoo celebrated its 65th birthday recently.
Also, we have the latest on fashion.
All this and more coming up on EagleVision News.
Welcome to EagleVision News. I'm Autumn Kahn.
And I'm Dallas Dickinson. Our top stories today. Big changes are on the horizon for the University of California admission system. On Monday, UC proposed a 20% cap on admissions of students from outside of California into undergraduate programs, marking the first time the conglomerate of schools has put a cap of any kind into place. The cap is a response to critics of the UC system of schools who say that California students have not been prioritized over out-of-state students in recent years. Additionally, California lawmakers threatened to hold back $18.5 million of funding if action was not taken to put California students first. Opponents of the cap argue this will take away opportunities for students from other countries looking to improve their lives, as well as deprive the students at UC schools of diverse perspectives. But the UC system ensures that there will still be a bounty of opportunities for diversity despite the admission cap.
New studies from U.S. Geological Survey show Southern California may be overdue for a major earthquake just north of the Grapevine. The research found that the San Andreas Fault typically has a major earthquake about every 100 years. It has been 160 years since the last catastrophic rupture that went 185 miles along the fault line. The U.S. Geological Survey says the land on both sides of the fault has inched closer to each other over the last couple of years, making enough stored energy for an impactful earthquake to happen soon.
Monetary cuts have hit Biola due to low enrollment. Despite raising a record $214 million in the recently concluded campaign for Biola, the school is now faced with a financial situation that requires hard decisions to be made. Due to a graduating class in the fall that was larger than projected, enrollment for the current spring semester fell 120 students short of Biola's projections. The financial impact of this has been severe, and major cuts have been made in the last week, with Biola's Business and Financial Affairs Department heading up the trimming process. The cuts began with foregoing the annual raise for personnel, reducing employee health benefits, as well as reducing excess administrative positions, with more cuts to come in the future. A heartwarming story out of Hollywood as a much-loved hero returns. For 25 years, Christopher Lloyd Dennis stood guard on Hollywood Boulevard as Superman and became a staple of the city. Then, tragedy struck as his costume was taken and burned, and Dennis himself was beaten nearly to death. On Monday, more than a year later, Dennis proved he is worthy of the title Man of Steel as he reappeared in full costume to once again bring joy to the hearts of passers-by. His return was met with elation among those who he took pictures with, as well as the other people who portray superheroes on Hollywood Boulevard. Dennis draws his inspiration from the original Superman, Christopher Reeves, and said that his return, despite the odds and his fears, embodies the spirit of the Caped Crusader.
Rams defensive lineman Ethan Westbrooks was arrested on Sunday in Sacramento on suspicion of felony domestic violence, according to police. When police arrived on scene, they discovered a woman with upper body injuries. The officers investigated and discovered the woman had gotten those injuries during a domestic violence incident involving her child's father. Despite the arrest, Westbrooks was released on Monday until the police could gather more information. According to police, the initial dispute happened over a verbal custody battle. The 86th Mission Conference is coming up next week, and it should be filled with lessons of the Great Commission, great breakout sessions, and of course, King's Kaleidoscope. Starting next Wednesday, classes will be canceled to bring the school together for Missions Conference. It is a broadcasted conference where multiple speakers from all over the world come and share their stories. There are global outreach and awareness opportunities. Remember, to reach your requirement for missions, you need to attend 5 sessions going on Wednesday through Friday. You know, I was at Missions last year, and King's Kaleidoscope did a fantastic job, and I'm really excited that they're coming back this year.
Yeah, cool story about King's Kaleidoscope. I was walking from my dorm to a breakout session during Missions Conference last year, and they just rode past me and my friends on their bicycles, and they said hi to us. It was the craziest thing of all time. And so another thing that I really like about Missions Conference are the breakout sessions, because they're just full of all these wise speakers who have all these great things to say about reaching the world with the gospel, which I think is a very important message to hear. I'm really glad that Biola gives us the opportunity to hear it every year.
Absolutely. And you know, missions isn't the only thing that's going on in Los Angeles. In fact, a lot of things are happening in the spring, from award shows to different mini culture festivals.
That's right. And this weekend was the Chinese festival in Little China, and reporter Aisha Lee went there, and it really looked like she had a good time.
The 15th annual Los Angeles Lantern Festival took place at the Chinese American Museum in downtown Los Angeles with a free signature event celebrating the Lunar New Year. Although this event had activities such as museum tours, live entertainment, music, arts and crafts, and food trucks, they had a bigger mission in mind. The Los Angeles Lantern Festival's goal is to foster a deeper understanding and appreciation of America's diverse heritage through learning its history and its cultural legacy of Chinese Americans.
I think that especially this festival is really important to me because a lot of my friends are Chinese and a lot of my friends have this historical background, and I'm glad to learn more about it, and it's really important to me.
Yeah, this festival is really cool. It's really amazing. I can tell they put a lot of effort here, and like it's just amazing. It's an honor to for all of us to perform here.
And it's really cool to see a ton of people come together for this one event, and everything is just really beautiful.
I think as a Chinese American myself, I think it's really important for us to embrace our culture, and that's a great opportunity to do so.
There are multiple martial arts performances as well as a surprise performance from the UC Irvine K-pop dance crew. Different from other commercially based street event celebrations, the event's primary focus is on community building and education. Through the Abacus Workshop, Chinese red envelope, and greeting card making, visitors are able to immerse into the Chinese culture. Visitors were also able to partake in Chinese calligraphy, face painting, lantern making, and much more. Be sure to check out next year's Chinese Lantern Festival. For EagleVision News, this has been Aisha Lee.
Thanks, Aisha.
As spring approaches, we are still trying to fight off that little bit of winter that we have left in us, and it's super hard because I don't know what spring looks like when it comes to fashion, but luckily we have Angie here to give us more on that. Angie?
Thanks, Autumn. Ladies, no spring wardrobe is complete without a white skirt or two. White skirts have been a classic springtime trend since the beginning of time. Whether you're particular to middies or minis or a white skirt, just as useful as your go-to leggings, you can create a chic monochromatic outfit. Dress it down with a jean jacket and sandals, or dress it up with a blouse for a classier look. A white skirt will give you a fresh and clean start to your spring. According to Fashion Spot, khaki will be bigger than florals this year. The spring 2017 runways seem to have a particular obsession with khaki, as designers like Christian Dior, Maison Margiela, and Prada showed off trendy khaki trench coats. J.W. Anderson created an alternative khaki dress for those who wanted to be more feminine while killing it at the same time. The whole idea of khaki is that it's steady, uncomplicated, and relaxing. You can dress it up or down. Slip into a little black dress and you're ready for a party. Or pair it with boyfriend jeans and skate sneakers for more of a tomboy effect. Do what floats your boat, but one thing's for sure, khaki will be in this spring. Pastel isn't so shy. What other colors will you be seeing more of this spring? If you've been to a mall recently, hopefully you've noticed that all the displays have changed. Stores like Forever 21 and Urban Outfitters boast beautiful pastel displays that are just so aesthetically pleasing to the eye. The great thing about pastels is that there are so many colors that no matter what skin tone you are, you'll find a color that fits you. For darker skin, a soft purple or bold yellow brings out the warmth of your natural complexion, while a soft pink or blue goes well with lighter skin tones. Wearing pastel as a monochrome outfit is a big trend, but pairing different pastels for a soft yet bolder look is great too. I personally like wearing black jeans with an oversized pastel sweater on top, with Adidas sneakers for a casual and trending look. Fellas, don't think that pastel is only for women. Stores like PacSun and H&M have avidly been selling shirts in pastel hues, so hop on in on the trend.
Thanks, Angie. This weekend, the Santa Ana Zoo celebrated its 65th birthday. Emily Heisinger has the story.
It's the first week of March, which means that the Santa Ana Zoo is another year older. Each year on the zoo's birthday, they host a party to celebrate, and this year it's turning 65. The day was well planned for fun and had something for people of all ages. Guests were able to enjoy watching the intricate designs of the Del Oro Pacific Modular Railroad. Children and adults alike were wowed by the craftsmanship of the display. There was also a celebration ceremony where zoo volunteers provided insight into the zoo's history and announced the opening of an otter exhibit in 2019. They then led the singing of Happy Birthday, and in true party fashion, there was cake for all to enjoy. Children visiting enjoyed a scavenger hunt around the park to all the animals celebrating March birthdays, and then took train and carousel rides for an additional cost. The Santa Ana Zoo has been a pillar for community engagement here in Orange County since its founding, and many families love to spend their days here.
It's a great neighborhood exhibit right in our own backyard, and they do some great community events and sunset at the zoo and some other things that we've come to that are just really nice to have in our backyard.
We saw the birds and pigs and cows and goats.
While this zoo is a smaller one, it offers a much more up-close experience for its guests, such as feeding the farm animals like Miss Layla.
I got to feed the goats, but I also got to speak with event coordinator Michelle Bigalk about how the animals took part in the celebration, with papier-mâché gift holders for their meals.
So it's the same meal that they get every day, but it's an entirely different way of them getting it. So they get so excited.
You can check out www.santaanazoo.org for information about more upcoming events. For EagleVision News, this has been Emily Heisinger.
Thanks, Emily.
A lot has happened in the sports world lately, people being traded, coming back from injury, and a lot of victories for our favorite local teams. And Sean Weldon has more on that.
Thanks, guys. Star NFL running back Adrian Peterson was released by the Minnesota Vikings after spending the majority of last season injured. Last Tuesday, the Vikings decided not to pick up an $18 million option on Adrian Peterson for the 2017 season, which means that Peterson will become an unrestricted free agent on March 9th. Although neither the Vikings nor Peterson have closed the door on a possible return, this news gives the aging running back a chance to talk to other teams and find his true value in today's league. Peterson will become a free agent for the first time in 10 years, and where he will end up next season remains a mystery. The longest reigning welterweight champion in UFC history will be making his return to the octagon later this year. Earlier this week, UFC President Dana White announced that George St. Pierre will be making his return later this year to face current middleweight champion Michael Bisping. This fight will be St. Pierre's first appearance in the octagon since 2013. GSP stepped away from the sport in 2013 after a hard-fought victory over Johnny Hendricks. Now he looks to become only the fourth fighter in history to win multiple titles in multiple weight classes. No date has been set for the fight yet, but it has been confirmed for this year and looks to be the biggest mixed martial arts match of 2017. The Golden State Warriors star forward was injured last week during a game against the Washington Wizards. Durant injured himself during the game when he fell awkwardly on his teammate. After an MRI, it was revealed that Durant had a grade 2 MCL sprain on his left knee and will miss at least a month. This recent news is not good for the Warriors, but it is better than what they had originally feared. Those around Durant had feared that he could potentially miss the remainder of the season, including the playoffs. The Warriors hope for Durant to be in full health soon as they attempt to close out the regular season on a high note.
Thanks, Sean.
Now, all this rain has made Southern California expecting to have a beautiful spring, and hopefully it'll slow down a little bit so we can finally see the green and the flowers that we rarely get to see here. And Tate is here to give us our weekly forecast. Tate?
Thanks, Autumn. So actually, here's a picture to start off of the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It's a great place for people all over the country to come visit and truly get the full experience of Los Angeles. And I'm actually going to be up in Hollywood on Saturday reporting on the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards hosted by John Cena, so that should be a great time. Now let's take a look at La Mirada's weather forecast today. We had a cool morning with temperatures reaching 55 degrees and warming up in the afternoon with a high of 77 degrees, and then cooling off again with 54 degrees in the evening. Now let's move on to our national weather forecast. We see that there is a cool pocket of air traveling through the northwest with temperatures as low as 15 degrees in the northern region and coming up to the mid-40s on the northwest side. Traveling down the west coast, we see that temperatures are rising to the 70s around the Los Angeles area, and it really hits the higher 70s around the Texas borderline. And traveling to the east coast, we see temperatures in the mid-50s to 60s and dropping to the mid-40s again in the northeast region. Now let's take a look at the 7-day forecast for the Los Angeles area. We see that today, Tuesday, was a pretty nice and mildly windy day if you happen to take a look outside. And moving on to tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, it looks like some happy warm sunshine is going to hit the Los Angeles area, reaching a high of 82 degrees over the week. It's the perfect temperature if you want to go to the beach and start getting that summer tan. I know I for sure will. And after the high during the day, it starts cooling off in the mid-50s in the evening. Moving on to the weekend, some clouds seem to be rolling in, creating a cooler atmosphere with temperatures in the mid-70s. But then again, cooling off in the evening with temperatures in the high 50s. And that's all for the weather report. Thanks, guys.
Well, that's all we have for you this week, but make sure to stay tuned next week for more news.
Be sure to like and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Biola EV for all the latest updates. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.